Hello, it's me Aswad again, and this time I'm going to review Doctor Strange, and this is gonna be a short review because I really don't like the movie at all, and there is some nice minor things about it, and I will explain those things. But overall, I didn't like the movie. Doctor Strange is actually what I call uh, a junk food movie, Insta movie, because I think the character Marvel decided they needed a character for him to show up in the Infinity Wars, and then they really didn't have any plan for this character. So this movie came pretty quickly. I think it was made really quickly, and you can tell that they just put in formulas here and there, and hopefully it works. But for me, it didn't work, and I will tell you why I don't like the things that I don't like about this movie. Clearly, the movie wants to follow the Iron Man formula. Iron Man formula is about a cocky guy who gets into a accident, tragedy, and then that changed him as a person. He became more thoughtful, but at the same time, he retains his comedy stuff. And Robert Downey Jr. is a great actor, and so they try to do this with this storyline that Doctor Strange, before he became Doctor Strange, before he became this character, he was a cocky guy, and then suddenly he got into an accident, trauma, just like Iron Man, and then suddenly, suddenly he's supposed to be humble by the experience, and that didn't work because you don't buy he was humble by the experience. I bought that um, Iron Man was humble by his experience. I bought that. He came back to America. He was down. He shut down. Tony Stark shut down the factory where he works, and want to change his life. You buy that. But in this movie, it was like they put the formula in where he was supposedly humbled by the experience. He stayed outside the this place for days just to get into the knee, to get to be accepted. And but what the reason I don't buy it, because there were inappropriate amount of comedy that he does, that he speaks. Because if you are humbled by something life changing, it will really change you, a lot of it, and I don't buy that this Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays this Doctor Strange, he was quipping funny lines, funny things, attacking, jabbing. He's trying to be like Tony Stark too quickly after the trauma, too quickly after being accepted by this sorcerer supreme kind of circle where he learned the mystic arts. But it was too abrupt to see him making funny jabs, not respecting others. He has been in a trauma. So I didn't buy that, because it's same form. It tried to follow a formula, but they didn't make it really well. So I didn't buy that. And then secondly, I didn't buy that he learned so many things in just a short time, and suddenly he became Doctor Strange. And there was a guy who has been there longer, and he's the only one who mastered everything. I don't buy that. And yeah, I didn't buy that move at all. So I didn't like that. And then there were because he was so short a time, because he left his girlfriend at home, and then his girlfriend can accept him immediately without a lot of discussion, just like that, because he's now magical. It's really all over the place. To me, I didn't like this at all. And the third part, where I think bothers me on the same level as number one, which is the inappropriate comedy, inappropriate jab, lack of character in terms of no humility. He didn't learn anything. You get the feeling that he was not humbled by the tragedy. I mean, I know they tried to follow the Iron Man character, but Iron Man was traumatized and was humbled by it. And the jabs came in Avengers. You know, he making funny quirks and everything, but you know deep inside he was a changed man. This doesn't follow. I mean, suddenly he was as arrogant. To me, he was as arrogant as he was before he had the accident. And to equate that with Tony Stark, I didn't buy it. So it was a failure on my part on this movie. Okay, the third part where I think I really didn't like this movie was they introduced a villain, which I think was a good villain. I love the character. I love the storyline of the villain, the plot behind the villain, which is a master of the mystic arts, and then he rebel. And then excellently created, which I think I was impressed. But how he ended, how he died, how the movie ended, his character ended in the movie, I really was like, really? He's such a cool bad guy, and that's how he ended up. It was so sudden, so abrupt. It wasn't to my liking at all. I really wasn't impressed. And number four, I think everybody, the reason I didn't like this movie, to say hate is such a strong word, but I didn't like the movie because it is a movie that happened in Kathmandu, right? The world of the mystic arts. And it is such a slap in the face because there's no, at least have some Kathmandu person, people from that region, or you know, who is Asian or who is Central Asian, whatever, to become the Sorcerer Supreme. Except they took this one white lady, and Tilda Swinton is just a great actress. And I will tell you, I would speak longer because she's also one of the things that I like about this, the only thing I like about this movie. But she is so miscast because she is at least get an Asian character or Central Asian, somebody from Kathmandu or India or Pakistan, will be more respectful. They get the most white person to be the Sorcerer Supreme teacher in Kathmandu, which is to me a slap in the face. And I'm like, is this somebody? I really don't like that. And I think a lot of criticism is against that. And there's a point that there is the center of the universe that controls, that is the center that somehow protects the earth. And like the Sorcerer Supreme or whoever created the center of power, you know, it's 3 countries. It's Hong Kong, it's England, London, and third, New York. It's like the center of the universe is in the hands of either white people, British or American, and former colony of the British Empire, which is Hong Kong. My eyes went up, and I didn't like this movie because all of those factors. However, there is one thing that I like. I like Tilda Swinton. I think I like her as an actress before this movie. She is eccentric. At the same time, she is her own. She is a good actress. I say this with seriously, and I like her in this movie, even though the characters mismatch. But I like her presence in any movie I see. And the other thing I like about this movie is the special effect. I like her special effect. When it comes to Tilda Swinton doing magic stuff, when she shows up to fight the villain, it's awesome. I think like, wow, she is really good, you know, and I was impressed. So I was really liking it, and yeah, I really am liking it. Yeah, just that's all. That's the only thing that I like. I just want to say something. Also want to add, and this is a spoiler. One of the Doctor Strange magic and biggest magic that they showed in this movie, he can turn back time, like bring people back from the dead. And when he did that, and you as the audience seeing it, you can tell that he can make he injured his hand. That's why he wanted to become a surgeon. So he goes back. He was searching for these guys, the Sorcerer Supreme Circle and whatnot. I as an audience saw that he can turn back the time, because he was showing that how the apple died, how the apple, he was eating an apple, right? So that fruit he put on the table, he was doing this magic spell, and the apple was deteriorate and then go back to health. I think I'm not the only person. I think the person, I went with my friends and they were discussing with me, and I said they were hinting that, wait, if he could bring people back to life, he can turn. Because one of his friends died. The China guy died in Hong Kong, and he just turned around and that guy came back to life. So he can fix his hand. He can bring back Tilda Swinton character back to life. Yes, that's a spoiler. Tilda Swinton died. So there is a big inconsistency in the storyline, story plot, which I really didn't like. It's a mess, and I think they just needed his character because he's an important part of the Marvel universe. But really I didn't like the movie. Yeah, for a score, I give this 4 out of 10. Yeah, it didn't go any longer because it has Tilda Swinton and good special effect. That's all. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry to give you a bad review of this movie. I try to be positive but when you see a movie that you think you're gonna be happy about, and then it's the opposite of The Accountant, where I didn't expect it to be good, and it turns out to be amazing. That's how it is. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Peace.